I asked a very sincere question in this past Friday Sews about whether or not I should visit G Street Fabrics during their President's Sale. You all gave me a resounding yes, and the fruits of my labor. Okay, let's talk about it. Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's Fatmata here from Traditionally Inspired Meaningful Art, and I am here today with a fabric haul. I didn't mean to be here today with a fabric haul. That was not at all my intention. There were some really good things. Anyways, I was on a mission for a particular thing. I'm just gonna let you know right now, I didn't get that thing that I went in there for. But I got a lot of other things. So I was able to record just a few snippets of me on that trip. So I'm going to insert those and then I'll meet you back afterwards so that we could talk about what I actually picked up. I hope you're excited. All right, you guys, you twisted my arm. I told you that the President's Day sale at G Street was going on this weekend. And someone, a little birdie in the comments was like, we need to see the fabric, Estelle. So I oblige, and me and 3 other people, because I see some other folks waiting in their car. It is 9:21 in the morning and they open at 9:30. So I think we know, those of us who know, we know, okay, we got to be in there first. So I'm just waiting for them to open the doors, and I'm gonna go inside. As I mentioned, linen. I would love it if I could find some linen. I have a really good colored assortment, but for the garment that I hope to make later on this spring, linen is what I'm looking for. Some natural fibers would be nice. I know I'm gonna be making, or would love to make, dresses. I think I have enough bottom weight fabrics. Like, I have a good amount is what I mean to say. But when has that ever stopped me, really, right? I don't know when I'm gonna post this vlog. Maybe do a quick haul for you guys if I end up getting something. All right, so I hope you enjoyed that little peek inside my visit to G Street this weekend. What I will say is this: it is my entire workout for the day. When I go in the morning, you really do, I mean, like, you're working the glutes, you're squatting, then you're lifting up fabric, lifting and pulling over my shoulder. I mean, it's like obliques, you're doing a lot of this. I'm squatting, it's a lot, like all of my shoulders. I feel it. I know I'm gonna feel it tomorrow. Let's talk about what I picked up. I have my beautiful little basket. I think I've told you all my Make 9 patterns and some honorable mentions reside in this basket, which is on the shelf to the left of me in my sewing room, which has been really clutch because the rest of my patterns, what you all don't know is that they live in this. This is like a shoe storage container from IKEA. It's great. It's just really long. I hope my brunette doesn't hate me, but it's long. It has a pole here and one more here, and it has some features that I just want to show you. The depth of it is like perfect for patterns, particularly the big 4 patterns. I can't really speak for the indie patterns because they do their own things as far as dimensions. I will say McCall's patterns are a little bit wider, but I make it work. Anyways, I've been able to fit like 3 rows and some change of my fabrics, of my patterns. And then the ones that I've already cut or used, back when I hadn't used that many, I would put them up. They have these mesh compartments, but now I've used up more of my pattern, so I can't really use that. So maybe I'll start using this little section that they have here. Whew, I'm out of breath. That's a lot. But the reason that I have this out is because some of the fabrics that I picked up today, I actually know what I intend to make with them. Ergo, why this is out, because I want to show it to you, because I'm evolving and I'm not just bringing in fabrics that I'm like, I don't know, I think it is cute, you know? I do know for some of them. We'll get into it. Before we dive in, I met someone while I was there at G Street who watches this channel, and it was the most surreal moment, because I just sit here talking to you in my own little corner, and that was like phenomenal. She walked up to me and was so kind and asked if I was the one that made the video about the pants, and I knew what you were talking about. I was like, yes, I did do that. That was me. I'm telling you, if we go often enough, we might just run into each other. But I didn't ask if I can use your name, so I won't do that. But I hope that your daughter loves all of the lovely polka dot fabric that you picked up for her, and that you have so much fun making your new garments. And I hope that you found some beautiful things even after I left. I didn't see any linens, but there were lots of nice other sorts of natural fibers, so I hope you got what you needed. But it was awesome meeting you, and thank you so much for saying hi. Okay, for the main event, let's talk about what I picked up. Obviously there's no particular order. I'm just going to be pulling fabrics out of this bag, but I think you're gonna love it. Before I dive in, let me say this. Every single piece of fabric that I picked up is from their dead stock fabric room, which you saw in the clips. Everything is $2.97. All the time, year round, whenever you walk in. If it's in that room, it's $2.97 a yard. It could be a wool fabric, cotton, crepe, flannel, poly crepe, swimming lycra. It doesn't matter. Ponte knit, which we'll get into. I think that is the kindest and sweetest gesture of love to the sewing community that G Street Fabrics can do. How phenomenal. Now, for the purposes of the sale, that room and all the pieces that you find there are not going to have the additional 25% off that was running throughout the rest of the store, but it's $2.97. We can live, okay? But they did have 2 coupons that you can use. You either get $10 off if you spend $100, or you can get 10% off an already reduced item. I'm going to do the haul and let you figure out which of those 2 coupons I used. Okay, this is 100% polyester, but it's a linen look fabric, and I believe it. But it was the colors in here and the brush strokes and all of that. I could see myself making a really nice open duster out of this to just throw on top of like an outfit with jeans, or you know, an all white look or something like that for the spring summer. Loved all the colors in here. I like the teal and that aqua and these blush pinks and the mauve, and then that deep, it's almost like a black, but it could also pass as like a really rich ink navy. Un momento, por favor. This is the pattern that I want to make. I want to make view D, or view C, sorry, this one, the long one. That's what I want to make out of this. Item number 2, not the like, you have to feel this to appreciate it, so you know, you just have to take my word for it. It is the softest and coziest rib knit. It's a black rib knit. It's just luscious. It's really like a dense material without being overwhelmingly too much. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just so well made, and I know I've felt this sort of material in the stores before, and I wish I paid more attention to the contents, but I really love this. And if I could get just a nice mock neck top out of this in black with slim arms, I would be really happy as a layering piece. That's all I want out of this. And I think it's like a yard, but it stretches so much that I think I should be able to get what I need made out of this. And of course, you already know what I'm going to use to make that. I'm just gonna go back to my simplicity S8982. So that's already accounted for. Now listen here. When I first saw this fabric, I saw it from this side, just like this, and I was like, oh, okay, because I have seen in this section like these lacy things before. However, then I flipped it to the right side, and I was like, I need all of this. Here it is. I don't know if you can, it's velvet. It is velvet. It's velvet on this side. Oh my gosh, it is the most darling lace ever. Now, I've been wanting to make a duster out of this like velvet burnout fabric that I got from Joann's a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, but I only have a yard of it. It's just not enough to make the duster of my dreams, but I think adding this, because it still has that velvet and it's, you know, it's a layering piece, so I wouldn't mind if it had that sheerness. I think it's just gonna be exceptional. So I saw it and immediately knew that's what I wanted out of it. I think it's about 2 yards of it, and I think it's just gonna help me kind of finish out that make. Look at this. This is a rayon jacquard, and I'm trying to see in the light if you can get a glimpse of that jacquard in there. Oh my gosh. Maybe on the wrong side you can see it a bit more. But it is just so gorgeous in this deep navy background with these just like splashes of floral. And I want to make like the most epic blouse out of this. I think a pussy bow blouse with really big dramatic sleeves, and how drapey and flowy this is would be excellent. It's 2 yards, and I can't wait to dig into this at some point. I got this. It almost feels like a cotton knit, but it could be a different content, and either way I'm fine with that. It just has the best goldenrod color against this cream background, and this is going to be the best layering piece and the best shirt. Again, S8982. That's why I'm falling in love with discovering tried and true patterns. It just is my mission this year, and I can't wait to be able to layer this. So many of the pieces of fabric that I picked up I think would layer with this so beautifully, so I'm very excited about that chance. But I gotta back up because you have to appreciate it. It has these sweeping different sorts of blues in the background. Like there's a really deep navy, and then this more like cobalty blue. you know, it's more muted. It has almost, the flowers seem a bit retro in some aspects, but these are all the colors that I love. You have this like mauve pink as well as these lighter blues, and again with these goldenrod colors and the yellows, etc. I just thought that this was divine, and I am so happy to have it. This olive green color is popping up everywhere in my wardrobe right now, and I'm so here for it. I love it. And I have about 2 yards, a little over 2 yards of this, and I can't wait to make a beautiful summer dress. I am actually thinking about S8875, which I made last year, and that was like my favorite dress of all time. And I haven't been able to make it again. This would be my third make of it if I did choose it. Now, what I want to see is pattern placement based on all the florals, but I think I will be happy with it. The reason why I want to make this is out of this pattern is because of the V-neck, and because it has a V-neck, I would always wear it with something layered under it. And whenever I'm considering that, I want to make sure that the garment I'm working with or the fabric has enough colors that I would actually be able to, you know, wear like a nice undershirt, and I could pull any of the colors out of this and have an undershirt to go with it. So, or just do like white. So I was really pleased with this. This didn't have a label on it that I could see, but it does have a very similar feeling to that previous striped sort of polyester fabric. But it could also, like, it wrinkles a little bit, but not terribly so for me to assume off the bat that it is fully a natural fiber. But I think it might have some natural contents because you do get some of those folds and wrinkles in it. But let's just appreciate the color here. What in the world? I think I want to make like a really nice pair of wide leg pants for the summer. I might do a situation where I line just the very top portion so that in the areas that are white, I don't have any undergarments or anything like that showing, but I think this would be such a nice flowy pair of bottoms. And there's this like, I can't even, it's a top, but it seems like the simplest top, and these stripes reminded me immediately of that. You will see it in the coming months, but I cannot wait to dig into this in the warmer months. I think it's gonna be phenomenal because then you just layer on top anything that's within this family. You know what I mean? Just a solid color top. And then you're out the door, but you still look so bright and vibrant, and that's what I love. Then I picked up some black and some blue rayon, just solid rayon fabrics. I think I have about half a yard of this, possibly. It's a little bit more, but they were already pre-cut, so they were very generous in letting me have these. And I purchased this nice blue one. Now, I've just been noticing that sometimes for the polyesters that I'd previously picked up in my former fabric purchasing life, right? And I think that the coolness and the really nice texture, not texture, but feel of rayons would be nice to use as lining fabrics. So I like to pick up some of these when I find the really smooth rayons in stock, to just pick up some of these to have in my stash so that when I'm making garments, I can use it as lining. So it's nice. Now I have a green, I have black, which I've just added more black, and I now have this blue, so I'm really excited about that. Ooh, I cannot wait for that. Okay, another one where like you have to feel it in your hand to really appreciate it. But do you see how I'm doing this with my hand? It's because like it has a slip to it. It has a slip to it, because often if this was like a cotton sateen, it would like be more friction, and this is like that. It's so pretty. I don't know what they put in here. Maybe nylon? Nylon? It's not stretchy, so I don't know if nylon is only used when you need stretch, or if it's used to make things like slippery. This thing is gorgeous, and it's my color. It's this army green, like it's the color of my dreams. I think I got whatever was on the cut. I think it's at least 3 yards. I know that for sure, but maybe 3.5 or so. And I absolutely love it. I want to make a spring coat out of this, particularly this one. And do not say I picked it up because it's the same as the model's jacket. That may or may not be the reason. know, but it just so happened to work out that way, and I do think it's gonna be a perfect match for this. So S8554, I've heard so many people rave about this and the simplicity of it. So it could be this, or it could be this vintage simplicity pattern that I have. So that's 9315, and I think the coat that the View 2 seems really cool. However, this is intended to be reversible, and I don't want to line this with anything, so I might, but I love the design lines of it. I think that's really cool. So I don't know, I'll tinker with it, but it's going to be some form of outerwear for me this, hopefully this spring. I keep saying this, but I've said like this year for all of these, and we know that might not be the case. But at some point, I want this to be a lovely outer garment, and it might be something that I just choose to make it this year, because I do think my outerwear is an area that I often am lacking. Like the entire outfit I might love, and then it's time to walk out the door and I'm like, huh, what do I put on top of this? And I have less options there. So I think that would be something that I can prioritize, but love this color, and it just will go with so many. Like imagine I'm wearing this dress and then I throw this on over. Do you see the colors? I mean, I'm just developing a color story here. Quick break to say this. I do still intend to participate in the Sew Your Colors Challenge this year that Hales More Sewing is putting on. Now, I have not done the free, like the free app that they recommended yet. I haven't done it, but I do plan to do it. Now, what I think will be really fun is to do a follow-up video after I've done my colors and look through my stash, even my most recent purchases, and see how many of the colors that were selected for me through that app I've actually already been purchasing. I think that's going to be really cool. So give me a thumbs up, or let me know in the comments down below if you'd like a video like that, because I could just say like, these were the colors that I got, but I think it'd be really cool to kind of go back into my stash and some of my more recent purchases now that I've been more aware of trying to pick out things that I think look good on me, and kind of see like, have I already had the eye for it? I think that would be fun. Okay, this I think is in the same family as that other rayon jacquard. I think it must be the same designer, because you'll see the jacquard sort of texture on the back, but it's a chartreuse sort of color background with these like gorgeous little flowers. Oh my gosh. And I mean, this thing has already been cut into, right? So they didn't even know how. I think this is a part of the selvage just here, but then it's cut, right? And then I think I have like an itty bit, this is also the selvage, but then it's cut right there. So I know one of my rules for this year was not to buy fabric that makes me buy more fabric, but here's the thing. I don't have to buy more fabric. I actually think that in my January 1st visit, there was a rayon jacquard that I picked up then that sort of has hints of these colors in it. And I'm not buying this with the intention that I would need to use that. However, I think that if I needed to, I would have something already that I could pair with it. You see, I think that's justified. I'm gonna leave it there. Now, the pattern that I think I'm going to use with this fabric is S8888. Now, I want to make a top, and yes, this is a dress pattern. I plan to use this top mainly because of these design lines. The fact that it has this sort of like princess seam from the shoulder down, and then it stops here. I could easily just lengthen these little side panel sections to make it the length of a top, and then just cut it off here, right? Or I can let it come out a little bit as sort of like a peplum with those additional, gathers on the side, and wear it as a top. And I think I'm going to do this version that they sort of show right here that has the little V-front opening, and then just put like a tie in the front of it. The reason why I think that, here you go. I have this really long cut into the fabric that I believe was cut at the diagonal, like at the 45 degree line on the bias. So I think I'm just gonna use that to my advantage and then cut along that line, maybe by the width of like 5 inches or something like that, to serve as the ties that I have, because I already have that. And I think that because all of these other pieces are so small, because it's just like a little panel here, a little panel here, it's gonna be about six pieces to 8 if I include the peplum thing. And I think that's the sort of pattern I would need to use a fabric like this that's already been cut into. Because if I'm using something that's just a front and a back piece, I'm going to really struggle with where to place it. Like, what do I do with this little bit here? However, if I have all these tiny little pieces, then I can just use my pattern and place them wherever I can, making sure that it's on a grain of some sort, right? Like, I will be mindful of that, but otherwise I can really play pattern Tetris a bit more with smaller pieces with fabric like this. And I cannot wait to use it. I don't know what the color analysis is going to say, but if they don't put chartreuse in my color palette, I'm throwing it away. I'm throwing that color palette away. They need to recognize this is my color. This is so my color. It's my color. I'm claiming it. No one can tell me otherwise. I have to show you these two fabrics together because, oh my gosh, okay. Look at this. Do you see these flowers and leaves in the gorgeous lilac against this like sage green background? And then I saw this. Look at the right side of this. I just want to wear this to someone's wedding. What in the world? Look at how detailed that is. It's completely stretchy. Okay, more this way. Okay, no, more this way. I just have to get lower. Now, I love this. And I sort of love them together because it picks up that lilac. It brings it to the forefront. I know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm sorry. I've just been all over the place. I'm gonna give B6705. We're doing it again. That's actually what I'm wearing today, you all. This is the black crepe, double crepe version that I had shown you in my December, January makes. That was on the mannequin. I've never shown it to you on, but this is what it looks like. Yeah, I decided to wear it when I went to G Street. I was like, hey, let me just give it a go because I've never actually worn it out. I still do think I'm going to probably chop it for parts, but I'll figure that out. Anyways, before I do a review of this pattern, I really do want to make it again. And this is actually, it's my final decision. I think this is what I'm gonna make out of it because I have a hack that I wanna try on this. I'm not gonna give too much away, but there's a way that I wanna make it that I think will be more suitable for how I want this dress to be, and I'm really excited for it, and I think you will be too. So hopefully you'll stick around for that. I have 2 yards of this, which could be a dress on its own, honestly. Something that I could use S8982 because this year my mission is to find tried and trues that I can hack, splice, and use to my heart's desire. Okay. And I think this would be a really nice use of this pattern in an interesting way to probably do sort of like view C up at the top, maybe not so much the mock neck, and just use it as a bodice piece and then attach it to a skirt because I want there to be a seam and just a skirt. I don't want it to just be a skirt straight up and down. I want there to be some sort of definition at the waist. All of these things are possibilities, but I'm thinking through that. This, of course, will be its own dress, and I'm hoping to have like a yard left over to use as a skirt to pair with this, or just make this on its own as a dress. Either way, I saw them both and instantly fell in love with this first, then discovered this, and it's just the raised texture of this is so divine. It looks so high-end and beautiful. And yeah, I feel like I should be at a garden party. This is the back side, so you can see that's actually raised on the other side. Then there's this beautiful, beautiful, almost cobalty blue. Is this a cobalt blue? It's like the color of blue that you would find in the Caribbean Sea when you swim out, when you boat all the way out. I haven't been in those places, but I would imagine that it's a color like this, that it almost leans teal. It's like, I know teal, we're cousins, we're not twins. And That's what I get from this, right? It's just the right decadent shade of blue. Now, I plan to make with this, I think it's gonna be a really good candidate for my Simplicity 6268 garment. I would plan to make view 3, the one that doesn't have sleeves on it, mainly because this blue is a theme and would pair well with so many of the fabrics that I have purchased. So I want it to be something that I could layer other things under it because it's just such a great color. And obviously I have a theme going here. So I'm really excited, and it would be using one of my Make 9 patterns. Now, this pattern is intended for woven fabrics, but this is a Ponte knit, and it's really substantial and like amazing. Like, look at that. It has stretch, but just ever so slightly, right? It's a beautiful, oh my gosh, it's just so, like, the weight of it is incredible. It's not thick, it's just dense, you know, just really high quality. So I'm going to use that, and I think it'll give me just the right amount of give in the fabric that would make it super comfortable to wear and look really polished. So I'm looking forward to digging into this as well. I thought of someone immediately when I saw this, and that is you, Teresa. Teresa from Lost My Thread, and I'm going to link her channel down below. She had made this beautiful dress, I think near the holiday times, and it was out of a fabric that I think was, like, if not identical, very similar to this. So it is this beautiful cotton fabric that has the warp and weft threads are different colors. So you have, and you can see it more on the selvage. So you have the red threads going, don't ask me. It's going parallel to the selvage, I think. And then the white threads are going perpendicular to that. So you have this beautiful sort of woven effect. And on the right side, it is red. But as Teresa was saying, like, in some lights, it can come off as almost like pink because you have that white and red happening. But it gives, like, such a beautiful decadent sheen. So as soon as I saw it, I was like, Teresa, you sent me some. You know, you start to, like, recognize the characteristics of some of your sewing friends. And you're like, oh, I would see fabrics that have, like, animal print. And I can think of, like, 3 people that I know. I'm like, oh my gosh, if they were here, they would be all over this, or polka dots or certain stripes. You know, it's like I have certain sewing vloggers that I watch that I immediately think of them when I see certain fabrics in the store. And then I have to remind myself, Fatmata, that's not a reason for you to buy it. Appreciate it and leave it. Anyway, I loved this and needed to have it. I actually do also think that I want to make the Simplicity 6268 out of this, but the one with the long sleeves. I would do the Ponte one first just to see if I like it, and then I would make it out of this. Really, really love this. Love it, love it. There's no linen here. I would say that we did well. I think we did a great job. And oh man, I just need to buy more storage containers from IKEA because it's either the house needs to change or I gotta change, and I think one of them will happen quicker than the other. I'm not sure, you know. Do you think I have a good sense of my colors? And I cannot wait to do my color analysis, but do you think, how do you think I did? All of this, I think I got 31 yards of fabric for $99. I'm not going shopping for a while. I have a lot to keep me busy, obviously. Let me know which one of these is your favorite. I'm really excited about this green coat. Wow. This makes me so happy. My washer machine is not going to be happy with me. I have to find a way to do this, or I'm going to go to the laundromat because they have bigger washer machines. Like, it's a lot of fabric. Thank you all for the encouragement. I'm not going to ask that question ever again because obviously I know what kind of friends I have here. Okay? Stay creative, friends. Bye-bye.